And welcome in, fans of NWHL hockey, to tonight's contest, the first of two on the weekend here at Warrior Ice Arena. It is the Boston Pride taking on the defending Isabel Cup champions, the Minnesota Whitecaps. This is their first trip away from the state of hockey. I'm Sam Fryman with you on the call. Joining me alongside Erica Ayala. And Erica, these are two teams I think a lot of people in the beginning of this season really picked to be some Isabel Cup favorites. A lot of returning veteran members for both teams, a lot of players that have been really competitive. We know how fast Minnesota is. We've seen the past couple weekends how fast the Boston Pride are, so this should be a very evenly matched weekend on paper at least.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what we get here. Of course, though, only one of these teams is undefeated, and that, of course, is the home team, the Boston Pride. So Minnesota going to want to come in and get on the right track. I think they really, the series with the Riveters was split, but I think also, you know, the Whitecaps probably had a lot of things that they want to work out. You know, lots of goals in that series, and things they're going to want to clean up. And so you always want to put on your best when you think you're going up against one of the competitors, to your point.
And still earning a point in that one loss, and overtime loss to the Metropolitan Riveters. That was Rebecca Morse with the game winner there, a very impressive shot. But just seeing the starting lineups for each team. As we mentioned with the records, Boston, they come into this game 3-0-0, 1-0-1 for the Minnesota Whitecaps, easily separated in the standings, and could be a big couple of points on the line here for the last two games. As we will pause now for the anthem. Anthem over, teams ready to go to their respective benches, and we will have a hockey game this evening here at Warrior Ice Arena. As we always do, we thank our fans for joining us here on Twitch TV in the chat, and we certainly invite you to get involved, tell us your thoughts about the game. And again, like last weekend, unfortunately, we will not have graphics at the top of the screen to give you time and score, but we will update you as frequently as we can, as I like to say, do it a little radio style. And just looking at the starting lineups for this evening's game, first for the Minnesota Whitecaps, they're going to start with their top line. That is Nicole Schammel, Jonna Curtis, Megan Pizon, and on the back end, the oh-so-deadly defensive combination, Sydney Baldwin and Amanda Boulier. 6 points in just 2 games. She's definitely going to be a target the Pride are going to have to shut down early and often.
Amanda Boulier been in the league for a while. Her second season with the Whitecaps. She started off with the Connecticut Whale, and absolutely someone who's deadly from the blue line.
And Amanda Levier getting the start in goal for the Minnesota Whitecaps comes into this game. She started both games against the Riveters, goals against average of 2.99 and a save percentage of .903. And in cage for the Pride, once again, it's going to be Lavisa Solander. She comes in here a .940 save percentage, goals against average of 1.87. And the Pride, they're going to start with their top line of Christina Coutinho, Jillian Dempsey and McKenna Brand, the big goal scorer, but all eyes are up. Puck is dropped, and we are now underway here at Warrior Ice Arena. Minnesota going to control of the draw. Quickly, Baldwin goes back and forth between her and Boulier. A quick stretch pass that could be gotten now by Jonna Curtis. She comes in, drops it off now, and firing a wrist shot just wide was Schammel. Boston, they get control for the first time in this game, looking to streak up the left wing now. Here comes Foutinia. Gets it into the middle for McKenna Brand. We know how many goals she can score. Gets one in quick on Levier, but couldn't get it past her pads. And now the Pride can set up. Sent into the far side corner, but too far beyond Dempsey there. She battles behind the cage, able to get free now. Couldn't get a centering pass to Fratkin, but she will keep the puck in. Offensive zone control with Pride, and this is what we saw them do so well early on and really throughout the entire weekend. Last time out against the Buffalo Beauts, just that forechecking pressure, relentless.
It'll be interesting to see how the Minnesota Whitecaps respond to that. Minnesota definitely a fast team. I think anyone who's watched even a minute of the Whitecaps and has had Allie Thunstrom on the ice knows, of course, she's one of those very quick players in the league.
And another quick player there firing a slap shot from the point was Lauren Kelly, but it's easily held by Levier. So our first stoppage with just a minute through period number 1, and it will be an offensive zone draw to the blocker side right. Parker could not win the faceoff. Fluke now trying to control, but back the other way, 2-on-2. Here comes Audra Richards and Fluke. Richards, the former Metropolitan Riveter, but she coughs up control of that puck just for a moment to Wolfeiler. But here she goes right back in, firing a wrister right into the gut of Solander. She'll make her first save of the contest.
And just to go back to that, Allie Thunstrom, alumna of Boston College. After college, she played for the Eagles, and then she got into speed skating. So, again, very fast on hockey skates as well as the longer speed skates.
That's been really the last 2 years for the Minnesota Whitecaps. Really helped them win that Isabel Cup last year. Let's speed back the other way. Here comes Lexi Lang. Coming in there with Carly Taves, her faithful line mate. Fired a shot well wide. Taves gets it back, tries the wraparound, pokes again with the forehand. And Levier able to kick that out of there. Whitecaps will try to go back out of their own end. Thunstrom not getting it much farther beyond the red line. As we're just about 2 minutes through period number 1 there. Good intercept, and now coming right back around. Good wrist shot again by Lexi Lang. And this line with good pressure. Lang goes off at the end of her shift, and now it's battled for in the corner between a few players. Referees telling them to move it out of there, and finally they do. Taves and Sullivan trying to get it for Boston, but it will go into Minnesota clutches first as they try to get the breakout going again. A couple of those cherry pickers on the forward lines as they get into the zone now. Schmid, a good shot. Schmid. And that one's easily saved by Solander. Stoppage with 17:44 to go in the first period.
I think so far we're seeing a very nice pace to this game. It is going to be a matter of which team is going to settle into their systems and get on the board first.
And we've seen that shot count, especially for the Boston Pride, get really high early. They've tested some very talented goaltenders so far, and we'll see if the Minnesota Whitecaps can apply that same test to Lavisa Solander. They keep one in at the point here, gotten down low. Trying across. That was a good pass there between Anderson and Lawrence. They couldn't quite get one in on net. Pride looking to break out, streaking up ice. Brand, a pass just beyond her. And the Whitecaps will look to recollect. For the middle of the ice, now here comes Schmid. Good cross-ice pass, but just through the skates of Emma Stauber. But good takeaways from both teams now as trying to stick-handle her way through Soliotis there with Schammel. And some good offensive moves as the Pride push that one back down into the Minnesota end, and that will go for an icing call.
That was a good pinch there. Fortunately for the Pride, that puck deflected just a little too far out of reach to go for the icing.
But Minnesota early on, I think, very much matching that Boston presence in terms of body on body, not letting any pass be taken for granted, not letting the Pride become lazy when they try to get those big stretch passes up ice or even end to end.
And that, I think, will be something to watch for this Minnesota team. At times they were undisciplined, including when they lost a pretty big game here last season. So let's see if they can clean some of that up this season.
Very good clean puck movement now as they get it behind the cage. Picking it up now is Schammel. She tries to go wrap around right in on Solander. She holds it down with the left pad.
And to your point, we're seeing the Whitecaps be able to get some shots on Solander. We don't have the official count But Levier has also been tested in this contest so far.
And another face-off right to her glove side. The Mary Parker line out there for the Pride. She takes the face-off against Schammel. Able to be gotten in the corner. Taken out, Mary Parker. Good stick handling move there. Gets it away to Wolfeiler. Wolfeiler with some room up the left wing. Cuts to the center. Some good moves as well. Almost through. Wide open net. They fire again. And Fluke could not finish as Levier was completely out of position. And the Whitecaps will try to go back on the other end. Coming up the left wing and now switching to center. Jonna Curtis tried to hand it off there for Schammel. And couldn't get away to Pizon now. Stauber just holds it in back of the point. Couldn't send below the half wall, and now a big break. Here comes Wolfeiler, has some room again. Wrist shot off of the pad of Levier again. She's made some very good saves on these odd woman breaks for the Pride. Trying to backhand it through again is Mary Parker. Almost picked up at the side of the net. The presence by Emily Fluke to pick up these pucks on the rebounds. Just brilliant so far.
She's been a great acquisition for the Pride thus far.
And we've got 4.5 minutes gone in period number one. Still waiting for our first score, but it's certainly not because of a lack of chances. Both teams rushing this way and that up ice. And intercepted here by Richards. She gets it free. Barnes fires a good shot there. Kicked aside by Solander. And the Pride struggling just a tad here on this shift to work it out of their own end. Bender able to get it free. And Lauren Kelly turns away from the attacking Thunstrom. Far side of the ice now and into the zone. Dropped off by Sullivan. She gets it away to Lexi Lang. Tried to backhand it free of trouble, but Stauber all over her. Pride keep control of the puck, though. Sullivan back at the top of the circle. Will rim it around the boards down low. Now Lang with it. Pass out. Mastel sends one through a bunch of traffic. Rebound almost gotten there down low by Sullivan. And Pride working up the right wing. Thunstrom will chip it in at the end of her shift. But good vision to keep pucks in. 5.5 minutes through this opening period now. We thank you for joining us on Twitch TV. As Schmidt takes it right back in from the circle, fires one. Rebound comes out. Good skip down to there by Dempsey. And the Pride will try to go up ice. Again, really applying that speed game. Both of these forward cores have been just lightning fast to start off this game. And it's dropped off now to Dempsey. She walks up the half wall looking to switch positions. Will instead backhand it through and covered up by the glove of Levier.
Levier there maybe just wanting to settle things, get her team some fresh legs. Considering that, to your point, Sam, it's been a quick game, fast pace on both sides.
And how much have both of these goaltenders been tested so far? We know they have their save percentages up. And against some of the weapons the Boston Pride have, currently 3 players in the top 6 in scoring. As firing a wrister through and getting the first goal of the game. That is Alyssa Wolfeiler, the former Connecticut Whale. And just under 6 minutes through period number one, first blood once again for the Boston Pride.
Wolfeiler just right there off the draw, being able to get something done for this Boston Pride team. Want to give a nice little shout out to Marissa and Jemmy, who had a nice write-up about Wolfeiler leading into this game for the Boston Herald.
And in that notebook, she had talked to head coach Paul Mara. He was so very impressed with this line, Wolfeiler and Parker specifically. And after a lot of hard work the past 2 weekends, Wolfeiler able to get the goal on the board. 6 minutes, 4 seconds, the official time. So an early lead for the Boston Pride. And now the Whitecaps will try to answer in transition, but that puck picked up by Lauren Kelly. Has a couple of her teammates touch up, but lost it there in the far side corner. And Sullivan has it down low, tried to get it to Carly Taves right in front of the net. And Minnesota pass out the right wing intended there for Jonna Curtis. Goes right back the other way, is taking a tumble right in front of the Minnesota bench, but not relinquishing control of that puck. Lexi Lang, good job at the end of her shift. As in comes Puccini, has some room for the circle, got it ahead. Brand fanned on the one-timer, though. Had a hat trick last time out against the Buffalo Beauts, looking to continue that goal lead that was originally her own, but with Brooke Stacy scoring today in that Buffalo Beauts Connecticut game, is now a tie for the goals lead in the NWHL.
Buffalo Beauts get that win in overtime over the Connecticut Whale.
Marie-Jo Peltier, a very nice goal to end that one. But back to the game at Warrior Ice Arena. Stauber picks it up for Minnesota at the center line. We've got 7.5 minutes gone in period number 1. Boston with a 1-0 lead, coming courtesy of Alyssa Wolfiler. Here's Stauber right back in. Fires one from the circle. Pad save. Goes off and comes out to Audra Richards, the former Riv. Stauber couldn't handle that one at the right point and goes back down to center ice. Boston can make a change. But looking to go right back in and catch them napping. Here comes Baldwin. Her shot rises high and another rebound comes out quick to Lawrence. And I think if Minnesota can do that effectively, get some tape-to-tape passes, those rebounds have been quite juicy for them in on Solander.
Absolutely. You want to see them attack and make sure they're bringing numbers.
And Baldwin hold it now. Couldn't get it through the Pride traffic. Going right off of the body of Fluke. She taps it aside there, but couldn't get the rebound pass from Wolfiler. She takes a bit of a tumble there, allows Minnesota to go back in transition. Lawrence from the left point. She fires one in. Easy pad save made by Solander. That save percentage just continuing to go up for her from the last weekend. Picked up at center now by Curtis. Gets Sullivan's stick away from her. No penalty will be assessed to either party there. Now a good scrum in the corner. Fratkin trying to do battle away with it, but the Whitecaps get it free. And now Boston in transition. Parker with Taves on her left. Able to get it away to Taves. She couldn't get a wrist shot there through the legs of Boulier. Good job in defense. The Pride still keep it in. Another intercept from the top of the slot. Went off of his body at the last second. Another good try by Sullivan as again she loses her stick right in front of Levier's cage. Boston forecheckers still attacking here, and they have it at the half wall. Taves in a good scrum, and Minnesota gets control of the puck. Again, not out. Putinha now holds it at the far side. And how much better work can the Pride forecheckers do right now, keeping the Whitecaps completely in check as they're able to get another change?
They are relentless, truly, on the forecheck, the Boston Pride, that is.
Halfway point of the period, and the Pride, they take it right back in, getting some good applause from the fans as a shot fired in by Dempsey, held by Levier. Two of them solid veterans in this league. And Dempsey coming into this weekend, she still holds that all-time NWHL goal-scoring lead over Madison Packer by only a count of 1, though. And she will take the face-off in here against Megan Pizon. Sorry, she took it against Barnes, and Minnesota able to win it. Now to Richards, a good stretch pass that went well beyond both Barnes and Lauren Kelly. Goes all the way down to the other end. Barnes almost double-teamed there by the defensive pair of Kelly and Bender as we have officially reached the halfway point of period number 1. Chasing after that puck, McKenna Brand. A good defensive play to get it there from Klein. Couldn't send it to the front of the net there to number 17 for the Pride. And again, her passing attempt is denied by Richards. Into the corner now. Good pass from Fluke, but Dempsey didn't see it. Else it could have been a good forehand chance right in front of the cage, but Levier covers up. As this will become our first media timeout, and we will take a quick commercial break here. And back in here at Warrior Ice Arena. Offensive zone draw for the Boston Pride that they will take to the blocker side of Amanda Levier. The Whitecaps able to win it. They are down 1-0 in this game. 9:39 to go now in period number 1. And a good tap pass off ice, but again, These passes for the Whitecaps, a lot like we saw the Buffalo Buttes getting in trouble with here against the Boston Pride, just not quite getting tape to tape with those passes when they have some very good rushers and some very speedy skaters up ice.
You have to think that's going to be the scouting report moving forward for opposition as they play the Boston Pride. You have to be sharp, you have to be crisp, because not only will Boston make you pay, but they're able to capitalize on
and now
their
a good
chances.
2-on-1 coming right in. Big save, Levier with the shoulder as it was Fluke there with Wolfeiler again. She was looking for her second of the night.
To that end, they're going to capitalize on their chances.
And off of the bench, Rowe, slap shot that went through a bunch of traffic. And Minnesota will get it up. There's that good tape-to-tape pass to Thunstrom, but tired Minnesota legs on ice, and they get a full change as she goes off. Taves looking to get it. She gets run into right at the half wall. Schmidt able to get it down low and at the circle, unable to quite corral that, poking away right in front of the net. Again, the rebound comes free. Turnaround try. That was just missed on by Lawrence, and Pride go back the other way. They could have numbers. Here comes Rowe from the circle. Sticked away at the last second by Baldwin, and that shot goes into the netting. But wonderful back-and-forth action, like we mentioned with those juicy rebounds from Minnesota. They were there, just couldn't quite get the sticks on.
And that was an unfortunate break for the Whitecaps there. You saw, I believe, that was Stephanie Anderson that just couldn't get to that puck. And she does her best to then drop that puck back out so someone can get a shot on net. But the Boston Pride were right there to pick everything up in front of net.
And a shot off of the point by Soliotis there, deflected at the last second. And Minnesota, again, just playing the dump and chase game right now, and they're kind of forced to with how tired those legs have been. And back up the left wing, flipped in by Dempsey. Going to chase after it is McKenna Brand, and a good battle there that she's just able to beat out with Rosenthal. And tries to get to the front of the net now. Now back out, a shot that just missed from Soliotis. Goes to the near side half wall. Fratkin batting away at that puck to keep it in for the Pride. Comes to the circle, and Brand right at the side of the net. Again, couldn't get a turnaround try. It sticks all over her, and the Whitecaps will certainly know of her as the goal scorer in the aforementioned scouting report, as you talked about, Erica.
Mm-hmm.
And right back in, a good move from the captain, Jillian Dempsey. Minnesota just struggling to clear now with 7.5 minutes to go in the first. Still a 1-0 Boston Pride lead. And Schammel will send it there. Around the wall. Battled for behind the cage. Wolfeiler gets to it first for the Pride. To the left wing for Brandt. Gets it out. Emily Fluke has a good one-on-one here with Stauber. Tried to send it into the middle, but Wolfeiler was ran into by Stauber. And right back in. Here comes Wolfeiler again. Tried a good wrist shot. But Stauber has been the big shot blocker with her stick so far on this shift, an extended one for her. And the Whitecaps will try to clear it out so she can maybe get to the bench, as they have a good rush going up ice. Barnes able to flip that one around Lauren Kelly. But no support from her Whitecaps teammates as they were making a change. Off of the half-wall dugout, and Thunstrom fired from a bad angle. A good wrister that Solander was able to see the entire way. 6.5 minutes to go now in period number one. Again, a good centering pass. Thunstrom with a backhand this time. Goes wide. Whitecaps starting to set up and really buzz. Getting those rebounds. Baldwin now will turn this way and that right at the side of the cage. She again gets her own rebound. Wrist shot went off of the body at the last second there of Lauren Kelly. And finally forced back to center ice are the Whitecaps. But they come right back in. Skating rebound. They are all there for the Whitecaps right now, and they're starting to feel it. Just under 6 minutes to go. Again, right in the front of the net off of the pads of Solander. Boston just going to be content with a clear on this shift. They get it up in the middle, and they will do so to Lexi Lang, but definitely offensive push of the game so far for the Whitecaps those last few minutes.
You got to give the Boston Pride some credit here, because part of the reason that the Minnesota Whitecaps can't get in position for these rebounds is because Boston's pushing them out of the way. And that's something that we did not see the Buttes effectively do or consistently do last weekend. And that's something that the Minnesota Whitecaps are going to want to make sure that once Levier is getting peppered, that they're moving bodies out of the way so they can collect those rebounds and not the Boston Pride. And
we know how much Paul Mara has preached speed, but he's definitely got to be preaching some body-on-body physicality with this team. They're just not playing sort of that zone style of defense against this Minnesota team. They are attacking every puck and getting rewarded for it. As McKenna Brand tried to get a stick lift there, she was into the offensive zone from the half wall, able to get it free. Centering pass that didn't quite go tape to Jillian Dempsey, or else she could have gotten a dangerous one-timer off. Good move from the stick of Schammel. Very fancy stuff, and now fires it into the middle. Pizon couldn't finish the shot. That was some very fancy footwork, though, from Nicole Schammel.
And that's what you need to do if you're the Whitecaps. If Boston is being physical, if they're pushing out on defense, if they're also playing with speed, you have to be effective with your passing and puck handling.
And possible 3-on-2 here as firing a shot was Putinha. Only goes behind the Minnesota cage. Just over 4 minutes to go in period number 1. Big stretch pass that was onside for Barnes, but Solander aggressive to poke out of her net with the stick first. And now Barnes again has a rebound, almost went top shelf, and it comes out. Excellent work from Lavisa Solander, and she gets a few well-deserved stick taps from the bench.
She, as well as her defender there, that again was pushing bodies out of the way as she was able to return to the crease and stave off any danger.
Really trying to force her out of position on the side of the net, especially on the Whitecaps. Here comes Mary Parker right back in for the Pride. Gets it behind the net. Emily Fluke, that's where she really likes to work. Got tripped up just a bit there, and Minnesota able to take that puck back the other way. Slap shot from Bender as she held in the clearing attempt. Got lost in her skates now, and now Richards coming back the other way. One-on-one with Kelly, but a good poke check to steal the puck away from her. Couple changes abound for both teams as we've got just over 3 minutes to go. An intercept there that couldn't get too much farther for Amanda Boulier. Pride will take it back up. Taves free off of the high side. Half wall tries to turn with a backhand. Poked out of there again by Levier. Both goalies being aggressive with the stick now. And Pride able to make a change as the Whitecaps will again look to clear. Flipped up and almost held in the blue line. I tell you, Lexi Lang in her first couple of games has been probably the most aggressive forechecker I've seen.
Reigning player of the week.
A multi-point performance in her first ever NWHL game, and she's able to get that honor from the league. As again, a good battle behind the Minnesota cage. Sullivan trying to get it from Stauber there into the final 2.5 minutes of period number 1. Pride trying to increase that 1-goal lead late. But Minnesota, a good job pushing back these last couple shifts. Jonna Curtis, she gets right in, but Rowe was right in front of her, almost took the puck away, and now the Pride can move it up ice. Good stretch pass. Brand again in a race to cancel out icing, but she won't do so, as it will be touched up with 2:10 to go in the period.
We are seeing in the comments that people, the only disappointment in this game so far is that these two teams don't play each other more often. As you said, Sam, to start us off, this is very likely a matchup, easily could be, I should say, a matchup that we see in the playoffs and perhaps in that Isabel Cup final.
And the only thing I will say to that is that's when I wish we had a 7-game series between these two teams, because boy, would they put on a show. And no doubt if they were to meet in the playoffs in just a single game would put on a great show too. But the Pride, they clear it out now. McKenna Brand from the right wing will just dump it in there, but that puck instead goes out of play, so we get a stoppage.
It's worth noting, obviously it's very early, but anytime you come into a season as the defending champions, you've got a target on your back, and you certainly have something to prove. Now, as far as the Boston Pride, they, again, are the only undefeated team, so that's kind of the narrative that we're playing up. But again, Minnesota split with the Riveters. The Connecticut Whale had a 4-3 lead on the Buffalo Buttes before falling in overtime. So it's really any team's game. Standings are opening up as we head into this third week.
4-2 lead even at one point in Thunstrom. She will try to backhand it through here as we return to the game in Warrior Ice Arena. Barnes lost it in her skates, but a couple of Pride players tied up as well. Forced to be rimmed around the end wall. We're into the final minute and 20. And as I mentioned, that Pride lead coming courtesy of Alyssa Wolfeiler. Dropped off now from Parker. Good passing there between the line mates as Suliotis tries to get a backhand free. And now a 2-on-1 back the other way. Thunstrom coming with Richards. He gets it to her. On the forehand now. Forced to go to the backhand. Good job by Solander getting across. And a good defensive play late there as well by Suliotis as we're into the final minute.
I believe that was Kaylee Fratkin that was able to just wipe that puck right away and make sure that I believe it was Thunstrom there unable to get anything dangerous on Solander.
And as we all know, Fratkin's certainly no stranger to the aggressive game as Jillian Dempsey comes back in the final 40 seconds. She gets a wrister through easily off of the pads of Levier. And a good back-and-forth transition game with those solid rushes along the wings. Pass almost broken up there. Again, a good defensive play by Dempsey as her line is out for this shift. And again, able to hold it. Almost got it free there to Brand. And it will go now to the half wall. Minnesota a chance to go back the other way. And Kelly dumps it back in. And McKenna Brand again races to it, and she has been so aggressive with just racing after those pucks, not only to cancel out icing, but to get those good cherry-picking dump-in plays. As it will again be just dumped in the final seconds, and that will do it for the first 20 minutes of action. A very good back-and-forth contest as we expected from both of these teams. The speed was there. The goaltending was certainly there, both of them playing aggressive, but it is a 1-0 lead after 20 minutes. It comes courtesy of Alyssa Wolfeiler, her first goal of the season for the Boston Pride, and her line very aggressive early on, and in the late minutes also we saw them. And the one word I just keep coming back to for the Boston Pride is forecheck. They have done it so well against now a litany of opponents.
They're good. They're looking good. That's truly what you can say. They are controlling the game at all turns. And there was something that happened towards the end of the period where you saw that the Whitecaps did have numbers. They were able to clear the puck, but they mishandled the puck. And again, if you mishandle the puck, if you're not sharp with your passes, this is a Boston Pride team that is going to swarm, and they're going to take advantage. There's sharks in the water. All they want is the puck, and you can't mishandle the puck, especially when you have an opportunity for a breakaway.
And regardless, only a 1-0 deficit for Minnesota, but a good comment in the chat that I would refer to, and especially I'll ask this question in your direction specifically. Veteran presence, you're definitely seeing it for both of these teams, and I think that's why they've been so tight defensively in really matching the speed of the other team whenever they may have a rush on either side of the ice. Both Boston and Minnesota doing that so effectively, and I think that may be what separates them not only tonight, but maybe a couple of games down the road, that veteran presence.
Generally speaking, I do think that is correct. You even look at some of the pairings on other teams, and that veteran presence is really able to hold together a team. But I think the difference, if I'm looking, again, early, it's only week 3, I almost want to say it might be conditioning. The Boston Pride looks like a very well-conditioned team, and maybe not just physically, but they look like they've been put, in situations where they're able to come together as a team in ways perhaps that the other 4 teams haven't. We know that this is a short season. We know that ice time is limited, but it looks as though the Boston Pride have been able to take advantage of opportunities to play together as a team thus far.
Well, you know the quote from the late, great Herb Brooks, legs feed the wolf. And that is what both teams will be trying to do as this game continues, but we will take our intermission break for now and be back with the second 20 minutes here at Warrior Ice Arena. And welcome back in, fans of NWHL hockey, to Warrior Ice Arena, getting ready for the start of the second period between the Boston Pride and the Minnesota Whitecaps. Pride with a 1-0 lead and a bit of a score correction there. Alyssa Wolfeiler, she still has the goal, but Mary Parker given credit for the assist, so that is her second of the year, as well as Wolfeiler's second goal of the year. That came at the 6:04 mark of period number 1. And as teams switch sides of the ice, I think, Erica, you might have to say the key for both teams is just keep up that pace. And if that pace continues to come, those chances that were there in the first period, they're going to be there. And if you continue to stay focused on getting those rebounds, those goals are going to come flying. Minnesota, maybe a bit more for them than the Pride being down 1-0.
Absolutely. Not only because they're up a goal, but also because of the intensity that they're playing with. The Boston Pride are really forcing Minnesota to have to be near perfect. But what the Whitecaps need to do is settle in, maybe not make the immediate pass to alleviate the pressure, but, turn out and look up the ice, settle in, and find the next best pass and just slow things down a little bit.
Well, the puck hits the sheet, and we are underway for period number 2. Minnesota going to dump it in early, and it's gathered in at the half wall by Pizon. Pride going to try to take it out along the half wall. Puck was spinning on a dime there, just held in at the last second, but now the Pride can break out. With a bit of room and with forwards coming in, here's McKenna Brand, gets it to the side of the net. Tap pass for Dempsey, couldn't quite get in on net as she was near unchallenged at Levier's right post. And Minnesota right back in transition. A good shot there on Solander. She almost let the rebound out, but covers.
And I liked that better. Now, the Whitecaps were able to clear the puck, and they brought it up ice right away. Need to see more of that. They got a shot on, but again, they're still being pinched out a little more, so they're going to have to get aggressive, really, get down low and establish position so that they can get those second, third, fourth opportunities.
And looking at on replay, even when they do get free with those chances, Boston Pride, again, a good defensive adjustment by them still being right there. The bodies in front, forcing those forwards to the corners. As Payson has one, now right in the corner, one rang off the post, and a backhanded try there. Couldn't quite go in for Jonna Curtis. But she has control, gets it back to the point. Big slap shot, Baldwin. That one seen and held by Solander as a couple late shoves in on the goaltender.
But
good. No scuffles from that.
I like that as well. Getting a few shots from deep from the point. Letting something happen. See if, you can get some bodies in front to be shields or to tip something in. It looks like the Whitecaps have made some adjustments, and that's going to be important for them moving forward.
And if you can keep getting those offensive zone draws, keep getting shots on net, control in your end of the ice, those chances are going to come to fruition for you. As Barnes able to win it back right there. Lining up a shot from the point. Klein goes wide of the cage. Solander was able to see it, but now from the half wall. Rowe taking it up, and Boston could have some numbers off ice. Has Sullivan and Taves coming with her, but all by herself. Tries a shot there. Not too much juice on it. Taves gives it up to Barnes, and she will circle for Minnesota. Just trying to get a good breakout going, and now she will go into the middle. Switch to the left wing now, Allie Thunstrom. Watched closely by Rowe. Has to turn with a backhand. Couldn't get a centering pass for Barnes right in the middle. And right in front of the Minnesota bench, Pride looking to take it back out. It was just ahead of Lang, or else she could have had a dangerous 2-on-1 there with Carly Taves. But the Whitecaps right back in. Good transition work so far for Minnesota. That one away by Lang. And her line out there right now. Taves and Sullivan, as she actually goes off just as I say that. Putinha and her line comes in. Good back and forth transition game as we're 2 minutes through period number 2. Pride still holding on to a 1-0 lead. Little more of a feel-out process in these first couple minutes rather than the aggressive speed we saw at the beginning of last period.
Yeah, that's an interesting observation. I think the Whitecaps are trying to, again, reestablish themselves. And to your point, yes, the Pride might be figuring out how they want to adjust.
And Schmid will get it back to the point here for Stauber. Sends one through a bunch of traffic. Almost got a redirect, but a lot of Pride players clogging that low slot. And it's given off now, a switching direction there. Schmid again tries. And rebound comes out this time easily gathered by Dempsey, and it's out to center ice. Aggressive to get after those pucks are the Whitecaps right now in this Schmid line. Really doing good work.
They're starting
to the opposite end, far side of the ice. Boulier takes a good shove in there, and that's going to be a penalty call. And it's going to be Kaylee Fratkin headed to the box, so first power play opportunity of the night for the Minnesota Whitecaps. They come into this game converting 1/4 of their chances exactly on the power play, 25%, second in the NWHL, but they will face the first-ranked penalty kill for the Boston Pride, currently standing at 92.3%, with 3 minutes gone now in the period. Umbrella scheme already set up for the Whitecaps. They circle it around the horn. Trying to get out of trouble there is Jonna Curtis. She fires one off the side of the net. Gathered by Kelly, tried to backhand it free. Gets a bit of help from the glass and just able to be skated back to center ice. Had a bit of assistance from the glass there, did Lauren Kelly, getting that puck out. Almost gotten right back in as charging through the middle there was Megan Pizan. And from the half wall again, cleared right away and stretching for that. Once again, Emily Fluke. And a good race to get in against that puck, but now a holding call on Minnesota that will immediately convert this into a 4-on-4.
And what happened there is, again, you see the Boston Pride being aggressive. Emily Fluke really going shoulder to shoulder with, I believe that's Boulier that's in the box, and is able to draw a penalty, so cancels out the power play for the Whitecaps.
So more open ice for these players. It will be 4-on-4 for a minute 20 and then a brief 40-second power play for the Boston Pride. And now with some room, trying to send it farther down low there was Rosenthal. And she's tangled up with Soliotis and able to be gotten back out by the Pride. And here comes Mallory over the blue line, looking to make a couple moves, forced to her backhand there. Good defensive work by Stauber to get her off wing. And just held in at the half wall, stretching for it, was Wolfeiler.
I'm laughing a little because Soliotis just completely flicked the twig out of someone's hand there. Didn't like whatever was happening there and let the Whitecaps know about it.
The good humor of hockey is charging right back in and firing a shot off the side of the net. A good opportunity there by Rowe. But one-on-one, here comes Richards with Soliotis, forced to the near side of the ice. Almost turning from the half wall. 15 seconds left of 4-on-4. Then it will become a Boston Pride power play as Fratkin will come out of the box. And Soliotis with control now and looking for an up-ice pass. And now this will become a 5-on-4, and we will tell you this Boston Pride power play brought to you by American Giant, a new sponsor for this power play, as they are tough like the NWHL. And the Pride will have 32 seconds left on it with 14:49 to go in period number 2. And quarterbacking it out of her own end, Lexi Bender. Gets it to Butinia. She halts at the half wall, looking for more of a setup as Lauren Kelly comes back out there to take the defensive spot. She holds at the left point, winds up a slap shot, rises high. Rebound comes back down.
Looked like Levier got caught in the net somehow. I don't know if it was her equipment.
I think her skate might have just held on to the left post there and got it dislodged, so just a brief stoppage, and both teams can make a couple changes. 13 seconds remaining on the power play, from the American Giant power play for the Boston Pride, and they're able to win the faceoff. Walking the blue line, Bender, she sends a riser through. Goes wide of Levier's net. Kelly able to get the rebound in the corner. Final 3 seconds of time ticking off the power play. And it will not able to be a power play tally for the Boston Pride, but they still have control in their offensive end. Came into this game only 1 for 13, so that falls to 1 for 14, a mere 7% on the power play. And Minnesota looking quick to turn up ice, as here comes Schmidt. Gets it to the opposite end and firing a shot through. And easily saved by Solander. Good opportunity there by Callie Funk.
It's an interesting stat there that you gave us, Sam, for a team that appears to be so dominant everywhere else, for them to struggle on the power play. I wonder what that's about.
12 goals the last weekend against the Buttes, only one of them coming on the power play. So special teams perhaps in the focus of practices coming up for head coach Paul Mara. But nonetheless, Pride still holding on to a 1-0 lead now with 13:45 to go in period number 2. Minnesota trying to buzz, but it's gathered up by Soliotis now. Little alley-oop pass to the center of the ice, almost picked up by Fluke, but Rosenthal will try to go back the other way. Dished ahead for her, but Fratkin will be to that puck first before the Boston Pride. Before the Minnesota Whitecaps, I should say. And now back to center. Stretch through, a big pass as that one will go for icing down in the Boston end. And the top line back out there for the Pride. And I think a line you certainly have to give a call to so far for Minnesota is the one that's out there now of a bit of a modified line of Pazan, Shamel, and Funk. Both of them looked like the fastest skaters offensively so far. There's a quick shot fired through, just able to be turned aside by Levier. Good amount of traffic in front of the cage. And now Whitecaps working out in transition. Pizan coming up the left wing, tried to send it into the middle. Boulier was there. Again, comes into this game with 6 points in just 2 games, does Amanda Boulier. And Stauber almost held it into the line there. A good battle on the far side for the puck. Still into Boston possession. And again, limiting that zone time the last couple of minutes have the Pride as they charge in on the net. Backhand comes free. Big save, Levier. Puck was almost behind her. That's digging away for it was Dempsey. And might have gotten a late slash there from a Minnesota stick. She's holding her right hand. It's a very aggressive play from the Boston captain. And just taking her time, but gets up under her own power. Very good to see for the Pride fans.
Yeah, we saw Dempsey take a tumble to the ice. Not sure if it was a slash or maybe how she landed because she was going full steam and full force down, crashing to the ice. But back to Levier, she was able to stop 2 point-blank shots there and keep her team in this game.
Another riser that goes well right of the cage there. Pride with control. 12.5 minutes to go in period number 2. And Whitecaps looking to break out. Goes off of a skate there. Almost able to be intercepted down low by Lang. And neutrals on the battleground there as Kelly's stick was tied up there. She was looking for a penalty, but Pizan back the other way. Big slap shot that goes off of the glove side of Solander. She almost didn't see it, but able to get the pads squeezed together and prevents that rebound from being gotten by Jonna Curtis.
Jonna Curtis just couldn't find her way to the puck. Good on Solander and, of course, again, the Boston Pride defense. But you're going to want to see opportunities like that. The Whitecaps have to get aggressive in there.
And it looked like on replay there, Solander almost caught it with the back of her glove against her back. So good athletic plays from both goaltenders in the last couple of minutes here. Definitely not afraid to be aggressive.
Taking a look down on the bench, we do see Dempsey standing up. She's on the bench. She looks to be okay. We'll keep everyone at home posted.
On the bench for now and doesn't looking to be in too much discomfort, checking out her right hand, possibly just getting a new set of gloves, seeing if anything was damaged. But play continues on ice as Boston trying to work back out. Mary Parker going up the left wing, lost it in a battle there with Barnes, and Minnesota gets control again. Behind the net, good takeaway there. Centered out in front, but too far for Fracken as she was backing up to the blue line, and Minnesota in transition. Audra Richards from the circle. She gets a wrister off of the blocker of Solander. Good job to keep her positioning. And again, the transition game has just been lightning fast for both teams as the Pride once again go right into the zone. Wolfeiler picking it up off of the circle there as a couple players went down in a good battle. Wolfeiler turning now. And now we get a penalty call. As there was quite a bit of battling there between Dempsey and Barnes behind the cage. And they're actually going to take both her and Emma Stauber to the penalty box here with 11:19 to go in period number 2.
We saw Stauber, at least I did. I saw her hit the ice, and as soon as she got up, she went right back to Dempsey. So she took exception to something that happened and some contact that she had engaged in with Jillian Dempsey, the captain, who obviously is back on the ice, or was, and now she's in the box.
Doesn't seem to be hurting with that right hand too much anymore if she's able to get physical with the Whitecaps defenders. So it's going to be a full 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Face-off will come in the Whitecaps' end of the ice. And the Whitecaps able to win it. Here's a one-on-one battle now. It's Jonna Curtis versus Lexi Bender. Bender all over her, first forces her to the corner. Good defensive job by number 5 for the Pride. And right back the other way with some open ice. Putinha, she's got a one-on-one now. Same song, different verses. She's also forced wide to the circle, but was able to get a pass away. And now a 3-on-2 if Minnesota Hurties. They've got all their forwards into the rush now. Dropped off for Shamel, side of the net. Big save! Coming left to right for Solander, but it's going to be just held in by the point. Rosenthal looking to dig farther down low. Drops it off for Curtis at the half wall, side of the cage now. Whitecaps looking to get a puck in front. Back to Boulier, dishes it off lightly. Curtis was double-teamed, so the puck gets away from her. And now rim to the out half wall. Pride will clear. Good defensive work to get those two skaters, especially on Amanda Boulier. They know her stats just as well as anyone else do the Pride.
Yes, the Pride were able to clean up, but I want to give some credit to the Whitecaps, who were able to see that they have a passing game. They're playing that short tic-tac-toe passing game in front of net. They just weren't able to get past Solander, but they need to do more of that.
And a good chance. That's right in front of the net. A great pass by Lexi Lang to Sullivan. Just unable to convert. Now Fratkin, a big slap shot, goes off of the pads of Levier as well. And this line continuing to do great defensive forechecking work. Has chipped in just past Fratkin, trying to get in there with Sydney Baldwin. And she will do so, just able to flip the puck free to Rosenthal. In a good tie-up, Fratkin getting her stick, all involved in every single play here. And Sullivan almost had it, but now moving farther down low and winding up a shot. Again, just goes off of the stick of Kaylee Fratkin, taking on nearly this entire Minnesota foursome by herself that last shift.
You know, I like what Haley Schmidt was able to do there. She was falling to her knees, but she was able to maintain the puck. And instead of just getting rid of it, which I think is going to be crucial for the Whitecaps.
And we will take our commercial break here as we go to a media timeout. And back here at Warrior Ice Arena, as a quick save is made by Lavisa Solander. Both players also come out of the box. So with 9:09 to go in period number 2, we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Still just a 1-0 lead for the Boston Pride. They get that courtesy of Alyssa Wolfeiler back in the first period. But the game is very much evened out. As with this 4-on-4 and a couple very competitive shifts, it's really looking like a close hockey contest right now.
I think the Whitecaps have made some adjustments and have had Boston have to try and make adjustments on the fly, but they still need to get some more shots on Solander, as we see there. Something that stood out to me as we talked to Tori Sullivan last week, Sam, is that she said that Coach Mara told them that they really need 50 shots a game. That's a lot of shots in one game. But what does that mean? That means you have to have the puck in order to shoot. And I think the Whitecaps perhaps had that conversation after the first period. We need to get more shots on net, and the only way you get more shots is if you're controlling the puck.
Well, through period number 1 at least, they were a bit below a third of the way there with 13 shots, so they're really going to have to pick it up. A couple of players still sitting on the ice there. That was Lang and Barnes, but Boston able to take back control of the puck. And 50 shots on goal. We didn't quite see Boston reach that mark the past weekend. They got up to 42, and I think 40 once again for both games of the weekend. So really going to have to fire away. And Levier, she's been challenged this game, but the Whitecaps has it right now. It's a good physical game. Again, Lexi Lang taking a tumble with a couple different players, and Pride just looking to clear out of their own end with 8:15 to go in the period.
50 shots is a lot, but maybe it's aspirational. If that's the charge, then that means you have to play a certain style of hockey, and I like that. I'm all for it.
Well, Carly Taves might have just added to the total at least by 1 that last shift. Boston trying to take away in the corner. It's a battle of the number 7s, Mary Parker and Emma Stauber. And Whitecaps just get it free up the half wall. Send it to the opposite end. Picked up at center now by Soliotis, and she will switch to the right wing pass just beyond Wolfeiler. She really wanted that one. Now Stauber around the boards. Looking to be picked up almost there by Schammel at the far side corner, but now dumped all the way back down on Levier's net, and she will be forced to cover as Fluke was charging hard. So 7:26 to go now in the period.
Again, we want to thank everyone for engaging on Twitch. For those of you that are signing up for Twitch Prime and subscriptions and memberships, it's helping the league. It's helping these players that are on the ice. So we appreciate your support. And, of course, there is a revenue share this year, Sam, with the NWHL and the players. So everything that comes into the league goes right back to the player pool.
There's another quick save by Levier off of a couple good slap shots by Kaylee Frack. And we also should mention a most dedicated fan in the NWHL contest that's coming up soon. So we know we've got a lot of very dedicated fans, whether it's for the Whitecaps, for the Pride, for any team in the NWHL. The league wants to hear from you. They want you to show just how dedicated you are as a fan of the NWHL. So definitely look on NWHL.zone for more keys to that. A lot of it's going to be involved in Twitch, and winners will be decided towards the end of the season.
That's right. I believe a trip to the Isabel Cup.
And a quick 2-on-1. What a goal for the Boston Pride. Exactly 7 minutes to go in period number 2. And lighting the lamp there for her first of the season. I'm sorry, not her first of the season. Make it her 5th of the season. McKenna Brand.
She ain't new to this. She's true to this.
And sorry we were caught monologuing a bit there, but just a great 2-on-1 opportunity. We'll see who gets official assist credit. But she will now solely take back the lead in the NWHL goal-scoring race. Will McKenna Brand. And Pride looking to come right back in. Brand trying for more. Got it right in front of the line. Puck still free in the blue paint. So Dempsey and Suliotis given credit on McKenna Brand's 5th goal of the year. Coming at exactly 13 minutes in the second period. And that gives the Pride a 2-0 lead now here in the second period. And that could be a big one given how even this game has been back and forth.
Whitecaps are going to have to figure some things out here, as you are alluding to, Sam, as now they're down 2 goals.
But a big opportunity here as getting sent to the box was Taves. And so with 6:20 to go in period number 2, second power play opportunity of the game for the Whitecaps. And Jonna Curtis comes in now. Along the half wall, gets it right out into the front. But a good defensive play by Mary Parker to take that puck away from Schammel. Kelly now sends it to Bender, and from the corner she will bank it off the glass and out to center. So no better time to get back into this game, but a good shorthanded steal by Emily Fluke. We've seen her do this before. Gets it to the side of the circle to Mary Parker, but couldn't get a shot off, was looking for a pass instead. And the Whitecaps will take it back out. Some good short-handed work by Boston again, but now Jonna Curtis right back in. Watched by Kelly. Couldn't get a good wrister off. And at the near side corner, puck still battled for. Schammel able to get it free, and now the Whitecaps can set up. Turning, but McKenna Brand all over her. Almost loses control of the puck to the Whitecaps, and a big shove there as Jonna Curtis met a wall that was McKenna Brand, and she comes right back in the other way. Will deal with the puck, almost taken away by Baldwin, and now the Pride will circle back, killing off very precious time on this Minnesota power play. Haven't been able to get any real setup so far in the offensive zone.
These are opportunities that the Whitecaps need to take advantage of. But again, the Boston Pride and how they've been playing this season, they just make it so difficult.
And continuing to make it difficult as Richards almost lost it in the corner. Now double-teamed by a combination of Soliotis and Fracken, able to get the puck free. And turning from the half wall now, getting into the middle is Lawrence in the final 14 seconds. A shot fired wide there by Thunstrom. Again goes to the half wall and cleared down the full 200 by the Pride, and that will do it for the Minnesota power play, as they may be able to muster one final rush here, but out of the box comes Taves. We're back to even strength hockey. Thunstrom really quick up the right wing. She gets a wrister in, but turned aside by Solander. So 4:25 to go in the period. If you're joining us a little late on Twitch TV, Pride able to get that 2-0 lead courtesy of McKenna Brand, her 5th of the season, which leads the entirety of the NWHL.
Already seeing a chance for Brand for MVP. Some saying it might be a little early, but how about Brand for All-Star?
Brand for All-Star, certainly, and she's got my vote, and I think quite a few of these Boston Pride players could make up that roster, both on the offensive and defensive sides of the ice. As that one held in by Mastel at the blue line. Pride with control. Rowe teeing up a shot. She sends it just wide of the right pad of Levier. And reaching for it now, Lexi Lang tried to backhand it back to the point for Rowe, but stuck in a battle along the half wall now. Sullivan trying to help out her teammate, but now the Whitecaps able to dig it free. Right behind Levier's cage, going after it once again is Sullivan. And the Pride have been so unafraid to challenge every defensive scheme the Whitecaps have thrown at them, and just every player, regardless of the situation, goes after that puck, as Emily Fluke does right there. She backhands it into the middle, almost popped above the glove of Levier. Could have been a great chance there for Wolfeiler to get her second of the night.
Almost looked like a knuckler, didn't it?
And finally pushed back into the Boston end are the Pride, but now a big chance up ice. They could catch Minnesota changing. Coming right in and dropping it off now is Wolfeiler for Parker. Double teamed by Boulier there. And almost got it free. A good turnaround. And now Lauren Kelly fires one through. Thought she had it in, but it was just wide of the right post. Kelly gets it back now. Playing a bit of catch with Wolfeiler. She sends it to the middle. Another turnaround try from Mary Parker, but didn't get a shot off as Levier gets taken down once again by Fluke. Nearly a wide open net. But Pride couldn't get control of the puck. And these players really charging in on the goaltenders this game.
Being aggressive.
But Minnesota, they have it in their end of the ice now as they're looking to set up. That one fires through. Almost got tipped by the skate there of Schammel. That's a good shot fired by Boulier. Dempsey up the right wing. She's double teamed. But Pride, they keep control of the puck. Good keep in there by Wolfeiler down low. Almost sent back to her at the front of the net, but covered at the last second by Levier at the left post.
I was able to see a quick replay of that, and very good on Levier to recover, because it looked like Fluke really just took her out, took her legs right out from under her. Whether it was intentional or not, we'll give Fluke the benefit of the doubt. She's charging. But my goodness, Levier didn't see that coming at all.
Both these goalies playing very aggressively out of their creases. They've nearly been forced to with just how hard these players are charging. As another quick try by Allie Thunstrom with those quick legs. She gets the puck back now. Sends it to Audra Richards. A good move through the legs of Suliotis, but couldn't get further than that with herself attached to the puck. And McKenna Brand up the center. Pestered there by Barnes. A good pass away to Dempsey. Shoots just wide of the net. Levier down. And the Pride couldn't get a rebound attempt there. They have really gotten her out of position these last few minutes. We're down to 90 seconds remaining in period number 2. Richards took the puck in for Minnesota. Thunstrom trying to get something done from the half wall. Brand trying to take it out. Back to center. Stauber waiting for the forwards to touch up. Almost taken away. And both teams make full sail changes. Up the wall, intercepted by Lang, and the Pride will go back quickly the other way. And just as I say that, just pucks flying back and forth. Both these teams working so well in transition and defensively. As soon as I go to say that one team has the puck, the other takes it right away. And we're into the final 50 seconds of play in period number 2. Fracken trying to look up ice for the Pride. She's in on the right wing. Tees up a slap shot, sent right into the glove of Levier, and she'll cover up.
She thought about keeping that in play, but again, Boston was just right there. There was no outlet for her to keep that puck moving to give her team an opportunity to push the puck forward, so she covers up.
And another offensive zone draw. And the most dangerous goals a team can let in are those ones in the final minute. Pride will try to do so here. They win it back to the point. Rowe will send it in deep. Parker collects right behind the cage. Couldn't get a centering pass out. The Whitecaps will take it away, but not out of the zone. Mastel intercepts that passing attempt, and Parker couldn't quite corral it on her forehand, so it goes back to neutral ice. And up now trying to beat out the icing there, but unable to quite do so with Megan Pizon. And it will go back for another draw. in front of Amanda Levier with 16.4 left in the period. Still a 2-0 Pride lead.
That first goal coming at 6:04 from Amanda Wolfeiler, and then we get McKenna Brand with the second goal in the second period to put the Boston Pride up 2-0.
And her line is out there. That's Brand, Dempsey, and Putinha. The captain, Dempsey, going to take the faceoff against Pizon. Unable to win it back. Whitecaps will send the puck up the ice, but well ahead of Curtis. And in transition, here comes Dempsey right back in from the circle. Wrister, seen by the glove of Levier, and she'll cover. They've been trying her glove side the last couple shots there, but Amanda Levier very sturdy.
Just a few ticks left here in the second period. We're at a goal per period for the Boston Pride. Can they pot another one?
We'll see if they can do something with a quick shot in the final 4 seconds. Putinha tried to do so.
I think she heard me.
And I think she got a good effort smile all around there by her teammates.
Round 2, ding.
As 1.7 seconds. Couldn't get a quick shot off that time, so that will do it for period number 2. The Pride able to add to their lead. Great goal off of a 2-on-1 scored by McKenna Brand. Dempsey and Mallory Soliotis get the assist off that one. Lavisa Solander, she's continued to block every shot that has been sent her way. And the Pride, you have to think, pretty solid control of this game just from a scoreboard standpoint, but given how quickly this game has changed in transition, how quickly teams have been able to intercept pucks, go the other way, how aggressive they've been short-handed, this is still anybody's game going into the final 20 minutes.
To that point, I think the Minnesota Whitecaps did a better job of being aggressive and using their speed in transition. But yes, the Boston Pride was able to adjust. They were able to stand any of those attacks and found another goal.
And just looking now at the shots on goal total, it was 14-13 when we last checked after period number 1, and definitely, as we mentioned, all period long, those charges were getting just a little bit more aggressive now. And Boston able to outshoot Minnesota just by 2 that last period, 18-16, so that gives us a 2-period shot total of 31-30 in favor of the Boston Pride. Only 19 away from that goal set by Paul Mara. They could easily do it in the third period.
And best believe that's what they're going to look to do.
And we will take our extended break now for period number 2. Pride with a 2-0 lead at Warrior Ice Arena. And welcome back in, fans of the NWHL, to the start of period number 3 here at Warrior Ice Arena in Boston. The Boston Pride and the defending Isabel Cup champions, the Minnesota Whitecaps, currently a 2-0 lead for Boston. They get their goals courtesy of Alyssa Wolfeiler, 6:04 into period number 1. And then McKenna Brand with her league-leading 5th of the season at the 13-minute mark of period number 2. I'm Sam Fryman, Erica Ayala alongside me. And Erica, it's do or die time for the Minnesota Whitecaps. They've been challenged in every aspect of the game. They were able to get a lot more of those back and forth shifts in their favor as period number 2 game came to a close, but still haven't been able to get one past Lavisa Solander.
Yes, and we've seen this from this Whitecaps team before against Boston. They're just going to have to, again, play their game and start to chip away here, do all the little things that they need to do in order to, as you said, get some shots on Solander.
And you can never get complacent as the leading team, and hopefully that's what Coach Paul Mara has stressed to the Boston Pride as they come in right now. Jillian Dempsey trying to get a backhand off. Had an assist on that Brand goal. And it's gotten back to the point now. So Leotis will send it in deep. McKenna Brand, she was the goal scorer. She sends it around the half wall. Now the Pride looking to set up. Fratkin with a big slap shot. Gets it farther down low. Christina Putinha in the corner now. Double teamed by a couple Whitecaps players. Gets it free. And back at the point, tried to be centered from Soliotis to Putinha. Pride still buzzing here in the first minute. Fratkin around the wall. McKenna Brand trying to switch places there with Putinha, but she gets stapled by Schmidt along the wall. And again, puck's still stuck in the corner. Brand shipping to get that out, and she does so. Minnesota still unable to clear. Putinha holds that one in. Good forechecking pressure. Dempsey, a soft shot that was easily sticked away by Levier. Back to the point, trying for deflection, and they score! Kaylee Fracken with a keep-in pressure, and she's able to get that slap shot through on Amanda Levier, and just a minute 13 in to period number 3, make it 3-0 Pride.
We know that's what Kaylee Fracken can do. Connecticut Whale fans know that. Metropolitan Riveters fans know that, and now so do the Boston Pride fans. She's one of the 5-timers, one of the 8 players that's been in the league all 5 seasons, and it's because of that wicked slap shot that she's got. Puts the Pride up 3-0.
Fans have certainly been waiting for it most of the year. They know how many attempts she takes every single game from that point. And Suliotis picks up the assist, and Parker almost had her first goal there, just wide of the net. And right back in transition, Thunstrom, she gets it out right back to her. Back door was wide open, but no shot able to be gotten through by Thunstrom. Again, they send it to the front of the net. What chances in transition for the Whitecaps.
Good response for the Whitecaps after that third goal. They just have to keep putting on pressure, find their opportunities, and get something past the lander.
And so dangerous, these chances in transition. Again, winding up a shot there was Megan Pizon. And in a race for it now, trying to cancel out icing. It's Baldwin with Lang. Baldwin will get to that puck first, as they might not have been wanting to wave icing in the first place. Baldwin will take it right back the other way. Into the offensive zone. And right back through the middle. Still with a ton of speed. Here comes Carly Taves. Forced wide to the circle. Couldn't get a centering pass to Lang there. Two of them have connected on some really good passes the last couple of weekends. Really this entire line. And now with a 3-0 deficit, what is Minnesota's game plan change to from here?
Well, if the Boston Pride is trying to get 50 shots on net, they need to get 100. They have to keep just putting shots on net, finding opportunities, collecting the rebounds, but particularly finding their way in the transition game.
And like you just saw there with Amanda Boulier, it's just been those little errors in being more concrete with the passing, keeping them on the stick, and not being afraid to be challenged by other players as soon as they get those passes, because they know a Boston Pride player may be right on them as soon as that pass comes across. And if they intercept one and look to go back the other way, that is very dangerous for one Amanda Levier in the cage.
And that's an interesting point, because maybe it's being less direct, right? They need to get the defense moving. They need to get the Boston Pride players moving in all 3 zones. Deke, delay, fake shots in order to open up lanes.
Well, they did a good job that last shift keeping the puck in, as this one will be sent all the way down ice. Again, Brand going to cancel out the icing there with a good stretch of the legs, and she picks up the puck, sends it back to the point. Fracken, she's going to try that slap shot again, but a wrister this time. Rebound comes out to Soliota. She's already got a multi-point night, trying to get on the goal sheet for the first time. And down low in the corner now, as we're about 4 minutes through period number 3. Pride looking to continue to increase their lead. Bad angle try there from Brand. Only goes off of the side of the cage. And finally, the Whitecaps will clear. Only back to center ice as they get a couple of changes out. Puccina comes right back into the zone and gets it free now. Good wrist shot wound up by Brand. Sent just high. May have gotten a piece of it with the blocker. Did Levier at the last second. But still held at the point by the Pride. Rimmed around the wall. And Dempsey will get to it. Backhands it free. Fluke coming off the bench trying to get to that play. And Whitecaps in transition. Gets intercepted by Mary Parker. She comes right back in as the forwards touch up. Has some room from the circle. Trying to skate around Boulier there. Good job by number 8. But the rebound comes free. Net off of its moorings there for Levier. And as the play goes back the other way, they will finally whistle that dead with 15:25 to go in period number 3.
Want to remind our fans to make sure you're engaging on Twitch TV. I was saying before, it almost interrupted a goal call, but we'll have some giveaways for the fans, which include a trip to the Isabel Cup Finals. Signed jerseys are on the line, so make sure you're engaging with us on Twitch TV. That's your opportunity to win our award for best fans. We've got some great ones. It's going to be tough. I'm glad I'm not making that choice, Sam.
I'm glad I am not either. And as we continue to talk about this fan engagement, getting close to the end of this game in regulation, give us who your 3 stars may be. Again, we do get a say in that as the broadcasters. So there's been a lot of worthy candidates so far for both teams. I've seen a lot of votes for both goaltenders, both Levier and Solander. Quite a few for McKenna Brand, Emily Fluke. Take your pick. But still a good bit of game to play here in period number 3. Just under 5 minutes passed so far. And the Whitecaps will look to take it up ice from the left wing. Mary Parker all over Laura Barnes there. The Pride able to take it back the other way. Carly Taves in at the right point, loses control of the puck, but Mary Parker almost takes it away again, but the puck skipped just ahead of her stick before she could get a shot off, and Amanda Levier will cover. And to draw to the glove side, Pride win it back. Rowe from the circle. A bunch of traffic in front of her that rose high almost into the netting, but comes back down courtesy of the glass. Emily Fluke in a good battle there with Pizon in the corner. Whitecaps able to get it away, but can they clear it up the half wall? They cannot. Pride still keep it in, but now gotten to Stephanie Anderson. She comes in along the right wing, tries to switch to her forehand, goes wide of the glove side of Solander. And now a wraparound try right at the side of the post. Puck still free, and digging away at that one was Lawrence. She sends it back. Big slap shot teed up. Almost went right into the body there of Anderson as she was the screen in front of the net. And a very powerful slap shot fired in there by Pizon.
That certainly would have hurt if it had connected.
Losing control of their stick there, trying to take that puck away from Fluke with Sydney Baldwin. And back behind the cage, a couple players still digging at it. Double team there with Schmid. Dempsey almost had the puck on her stick, but the Whitecaps will dig it out. Across center, forced to the right wing now. Jonna Curtis, she drops it off. Schammel looking for an open lane, gets it back to Schmid with some room. Fires in! Gut save by Lavisa Solander. And Soliotis shoving Jonna Curtis out of the way as she was getting in pretty close to her goaltender there at the end of the play.
She took exception to Curtis taking a swat at Solander's glove hand, even though the whistle had been blown, and clearly Solander had the puck. So Soliotis looking out for her Tendy, some Tendy love.
The Minnesota earns an offensive zone draw, but the Pride will win it. Trying to clear it out, kept in by Klein now. She looked to move in from the circle. Bad angle try, poking away at it. Right on the edge was Schammel, but couldn't get one past the post. Schmid again holds it at the half wall. Near side, the Whitecaps are working. They get it back to Schmid now. Fires with the backhand. Goes off of the right pad of Solander. Just about 7 minutes through period number 3. Boston still holding on to a 3-goal lead, but the chances are with the Whitecaps currently. That pass intercepted. Soliotis going to just dump it in with the backhand. Forces Levier out of the net. And Soliotis tried to pick it up again. And up the left wing, here comes Schammel. Hasn't been afraid to show off her stick moves there. She almost got around Putinha, but lost control of the puck to Fratkin. And backhanded back to center ice as Stauber, I don't think, saw Brand coming there late. She was trying to intercept that puck and go just back the other way. Barnes a slap shot that goes intentionally wide. As the Whitecaps still playing a bit of that dump and chase game, but getting far more aggressive on how quickly the forwards go in as soon as that puck is dumped in with a lot of aggression.
Well beyond crunch time here, Sam.
And almost a good steal there by Boston. They hold it in at the point, sent back down to the near side half wall, but a couple of the forwards have to change out. And Lexi Lang, now the skater out there, almost makes a good move around at the circle, picked up by Sullivan. Along the half wall, couldn't quite get it free to Taves. Puck just bouncing around now, but held in by Whitney Wren. Haven't called her name too much so far this game. But she makes a good defensive play as she also stops Richards from firing off an accurate shot from the half wall, and that one's covered by Solander. Just mentioning the shots back from the first 2 periods. Pride were leading in that category 31-30 after the first 40 minutes, and like we said, they want to get up to 50. And they've gotten the goals through, and they're continuing to fire away, but the Whitecaps, as you said earlier, may need to get that total twofold if they want to get back into this game.
Indeed.
And they get a good juicy rebound there as firing one was Stephanie Anderson. The Boston College native, she knows these parts well. as that one comes out back to center ice, and Boulier will have to touch up in her own end. Puck took an interesting bounce off the half wall there. Pride were almost able to collect. Now Mary Parker has it. Lost in her skates, and will go back in transition will be Lawrence for Minnesota. A couple bodies take a tumble down to the ice, and now right in the middle. Good blocker save there off of the shot from Pizon. And Lexi Bender, the defensewoman, she comes back in but runs into at least 3 jerseys and gets a couple extra shoves in there to the net as it comes off of its moorings. And she will head to the penalty box for that. Will number 5 for Boston. She had at least 3 Minnesota players all over her. And looking at replay, she did get possibly a late trip in there on Boulier and then ran into Levier for good measure. So Minnesota Whitecaps to the power play once again. They've been unable to convert on their previous 2 chances. And they will get one here with 10:57 to go in period number 3. And I would say a do-or-die power play, and one that the approach should be must score.
No lie detected, Sam. No lie detected.
And roughing the official call to Lexi Benner as the Whitecaps send it around the horn, looking to go circle to circle there. And collecting will be Boulier. 5 assists on the season. She leads all players in that category.
But Boulier can also shoot, and perhaps like we saw with Frady for that 3rd goal, they need to see Boo from the blue line rip one.
Well, they don't have her sit up there as a juicy rebound came out skating right in front of the net. And now in transition, here comes McKenna Brand ahead of Baldwin. Tries to fire from the circle, almost went forehand, backhand. That is the move she loves. She's tried it at least 4 times by my count the past 2 weekends and gets her stick slashed away from her as well. But great job catching the power play unit napping there, McKenna Brand. And already halfway through this period and halfway through the Minnesota power play. And you mentioned they need to get Boulier out there to try to get a slap shot off. They're not setting her up at the top of the blue line right now. Possibly a 2-on-1. Taves sends it to Lang, short-handed, gets the rebound, fires through. What a save, Levier! Got the stick behind her. And able to keep Lang out, and now ahead of the defense, Sundstrom, she comes in, big save, Solander! My goodness, these goaltenders!
Goaltenders were definitely mentioned when we asked for 3 stars, and that is why, Sam.
What a show at both ends of the ice. Nearly made me lose my voice just on 2 plays. And Whitecaps still trying in the final 21 seconds of the play, but that one cleared down ice. Levier looking for the quick up, Stauber able to get it. And the Whitecaps going right back in, but Mary Parker, she gets to the puck first for Boston. She will flip that all the way out of there. And that should do it for the Minnesota power play. Make it 0 for 3 on the night as Lexi Bender is out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5, but what a power play it was, especially for Boston, short-handed in transition.
My goodness. That was some exciting hockey, folks.
And Pride take this puck away once again. Left wing Mary Parker. She fires from the circle. Blocker aside by Levier. Rebound tries to become to the corner now in the near side. Back to the point. Pass that just went through Wren's skates. So Minnesota will look to clear. They only get it as far as the red line. 8:23 to go now in period number 3. Boston, a good kill on the power play just a little while ago. They still hold on to a 3-0 lead here at Warrior Ice Arena. And Mary Parker again, a good job defensively. Couldn't quite get a backhand through a bunch of black jerseys around her, but Pride still with control of the puck. Near side now, Wolfeiler moving in. She has a goal in this game. Gets taken down almost from behind by Callie Fluke. And right back the other way. Throwing on the brakes, trying to get a pass through was Anderson. She now takes a tumble to the ice, and she gets the puck 3 to Funk. Backhanded try. Couldn't be gotten to Pazan in front of the net. And Minnesota, you can see the aggression starting to come out from there. They know they need to get back in this game as that one fired from a good angle, saved by Solander. And this is going to become our media timeout, so we will take a brief commercial break here. So offensive zone draw gained here for the Minnesota Whitecaps, and they are unable to win it. 7.5 minutes to go now in regulation. Good try there by Curtis. Look out. Almost put in a spin cycle by Jillian Dempsey there as she tried to get to the far side of the ice. And now Boulier comes in. Couldn't quite center it there for Chamel, and the Boston Pride will go back the other way. Looking up ice. Here comes Brand once again, looking to go through. Think she was thinking forehand, backhand there, but had one defender ahead of her. Now possible numbers for Minnesota up ice as they have a near 3-on-2. Chamel fires one in from the right hand. Rebound came out. Now a big slap shot off the mark from Boulier. That's the shot you want to see her take if you're a Whitecaps fan.
Just a bit outside on that wind-up there from
And Brand
Boulier.
takes a big hit as she tried to get past Kelsey Klein. And now a slap shot teed up by Putina. Almost got a Minnesota redirect as Klein was again in front of the net. But Chamel will take it back the other way from her left wing. She tees up a slap shot right into the glove of Solander and thought that was going to be a stoppage from the referee. Oh, yes, it was. Didn't quite hear a whistle, though.
And we have 6:32 remaining in the third period. It is the Boston Pride up 3-0 on the visiting Minnesota Whitecaps.
And I will try to avoid giving the broadcaster curse, but a certain event could happen for Lavisa Solander in 6.5 minutes' time. But right there, Thunstrom almost wanted to end it just as I say it with a big slap shot. And Lexi Lang comes back up ice. Looks to turn on the Jets from the right wing, but taken away by a combination there of Thunstrom and Stauber. And going back up ice through the middle, Alter Richards. She has Thunstrom to her left in a 2-on-1. Fires one through, saves Solander. Perhaps should have given it off to Thunstrom at the last second there. Had a good 2-on-1 with Lexi Lang pinching. And Lavisa Solander has really heard it from the crowd so far this evening.
They're giving it to you in the comments, Sam. Be careful.
I will not dare, fans. I will not dare. And again, right back in front. Thunstrom a try once again. Minnesota's really trying to make me eat my words here, but 5:59 to go in period number 3. The Boston defense and Lavisa Solander remain sharp. And cleared right off of the draw by the Pride. They send it down the full 200, but with an icing draw. Pride trying to get this game sealed off. A 3. Wolfiler, McKenna Brand, and Kaylee Fratkin, all of them coming a period apart. Wolfiler in the first, Brand in the second, and early in the third, Kaylee Fratkin. And Minnesota going to take it back the other way. Allie Thunstrom, she's had a couple of really good shifts in these last few minutes. She sends a soft one in on Solander. She pads it aside, and Boston will work out. Parker taps it away to Wolfiler. From the left wing, tries to swing in against Stauber. Parker almost got the rebound, but broken up at the last second there. A good defensive play by Baldwin. Now waiting for the forwards to touch up. Richards sends one high from the glove side. Goes into the near side corner now. Richards trying to battle for it and now gets taken away, and almost getting a good shot in there was Rosenthal. A much more aggressive push from the Whitecaps these last few minutes. Wolfiler tried to make a good stick move there around Anderson. But again, good defensive work. Preventing the Pride chances, but also still struggling just to get those chances themselves are the Whitecaps.
Well, they're feeling the pressure, and, had they been able to do a little bit more of this in the first two periods, maybe this is a little bit different of a game.
And Boston still looking to tighten up against this more aggressive Whitecaps approach. Is in the corner there, hit right in the numbers. McKenna Brand, she was feeling that one. And she's a bit slow to get up, but doing all right, skating away under her own power. Whitecaps in transition as taking a tumble there was Boulier. And possibly lucky to avoid a tripping call there was Mastel. Rowe couldn't quite get it out of the zone there. She takes a tumble and picked right back up on the side of the circle. One just skips across the blue paint as we've got 4:07 to go now in period number 3. Pride quickly back the other way, almost dropped off. 4 taves there by Putina, but Minnesota able to take it away, and they will stretch up ice. And Boulier, good job circling. We've seen how aggressive the Boston forecheck can be as they prove it right there. Smart move by Boulier that last play. And now that defensive pair is off, so it's Stauber and Schmid. But that clearing attempt gets taken away by Boston. Schmid forced to recoil in her own end. Still stuck along the half wall are the Whitecaps. They've got 3.5 minutes to go in regulation. And Schmid sees a couple of her teammates up ice. Here comes Jonna Curtis. Plenty of room from the circle, broken up by the stick of Lexi Bender at that last second here, as those two Whitecaps forwards were nearly unchallenged.
Great move there by Lexi Bender.
And she gets a quick stretch pass up ice. Not sure Parker was anticipating it. It was just a bit ahead of her stick. And Klein now for the Whitecaps. She's in over the blue line, looking to send Curtis to the front of the net. But Lauren Kelly was all over her, so that pass attempt broken up. Just held in by Baldwin now at the right point. Minnesota looking to get it into the middle there. But Boston with numbers, and now they will be able to clear to center and go to work in their own offensive end. Parker sends it to the corner. Wolfeiler, good elbow to try to go get it there. Whitecaps, they are getting their transition chances. Look out, here comes Thunstrom. Big one in, shoots and scores.
That was filthy.
A wonderful wrist shot by Allie Thunstrom. We had seen how quick she had moved in transition there. And the shutout attempt is gone for Lavisa Solander with just 2:31 remaining in period number 3. A little more life in the legs for the Whitecaps now. It's a 3-1 contest.
And you felt in the last several minutes, if the Whitecaps were going to get on the board, that it was going to come from BC's own Allie Thunstrom. She was looking hungry. You see her kind of swarming in the neutral zone, waiting for that outlet pass, and it serves her well as she gets the Whitecaps on the board.
And now Boulier going to come right back in. She fired a shot that was a bit off the mark. Boston now trying to get back in their own end. And it's fed back out. They've got 2:05 to go now in the period. It's gotten free and trying to wind up a shot right at the side of the net. Levier covering that post all the way. And apologies to the fans for the broadcaster's curse. I will take full responsibility.
You got to give these players credit for what they do. I'm not sure that it's really impacted by what we're saying up here in the skybox.
And a big shout out to both goaltenders for how they have played in this game. They've given us some great highlight-worthy saves. As back at the point, Kelly sends it down low. Lang to the backhand now. Gets it free to Sullivan. Trying the wraparound. Taves, but she's on her backhand. Tries to switch places with Bender. She was run into there by Rosenthal. And now stapled against the boards, Sullivan and Boulier. Just trying to keep that puck against. 95 seconds to go now in regulation. 3-1 lead for the Pride. Whitecaps, they were able to break it courtesy of Allie Thunstrom. Can't quite send it back up ice, though. Past center. Trying to dig away at those pucks. Lexi Bender, a big stretch pass that goes beyond Sullivan. As that one will not go for an icing. Whitecaps thought perhaps it should have been. And they get a big stretch pass down in on Solander's net. That one will be touched up. So with 1:06, face-off down in the Minnesota end.
And as we're counting down again, folks, give us your 3 stars of the game. Sam and I get to vote, but we want to hear from you. We know that we've been getting lots of Tendy love in the comments, but make sure this is your opportunity. Put out those player names that you'd like us to consider for the 3 stars of this game.
Couple good candidates in mind. And going to be a timeout called here. So Minnesota can drop a battle plan. They'll have to get a couple of very quick bang-bang goals in this game to make it a tie contest as they're down 3-1. Just 1:06 to work.
Thunstrom now making her way into the comments. I mean, that was a very nice goal. Very nice. Very proud general manager of a fantasy team last year. Allie Thunstrom was on my team, so maybe I don't take credit for any broadcaster jinxes, but as a fantasy general manager, absolutely 100% take credit for
And as
Allie
we
Fenner.
mentioned, a Boston College native, familiar to these parts. A lot of those good Beanpot games, certainly former teammates with a couple of these Pride players and played against them in some ECAC competition.
Ooh, a McLevin reference. I like it. Throwback.
And Pride able to get the face-off here as we're into the final minute of play of regulation, trying to work behind the net as Putina almost got one out in front for Jillian Dempsey. There's a puck free into the corner now. Minnesota will try to work up ice, and if they do, we'll see if Levier heads to the bench. And they get up now in the form of Schammel, and there goes Levier. Cage open at the other end for the Whitecaps. They're in desperation mode now. Flung around to the far side half wall. Dempsey trying to get there first, and we'll push it out to center ice, but Baldwin collects there for the Whitecaps. 30 seconds to go in regulation. Boulier almost lost it, but now gathered back up on McKenna Brand. She couldn't quite send one through as Boulier and Baldwin were there to protect their open cage. They will look to work up ice. That one does not get sent down for an icing. Goes behind. Final 10 seconds now. Boston just trying to dig it out. Schmid gets to it on the half wall. One almost fired high by the Whitecaps. But in the final seconds, final pad save made by Solander, and that will do it. And the Pride start their weekend with a very solid win against the defending Isabel Cup champions. Hugs all around for Lavisa Solander. A ton of saves in this game, only let one by her. And job well done, too, has to be said for Amanda Levier at the other end. 3-1 the final. Boston Pride take the victory in the first game of the weekend. They will be right back here tomorrow at 2:30 in the afternoon. A lot of worthy candidates for these 3 stars, though, I would say, Erica.
Yes, and we have put in our votes, but we'll have to see what the final tally is. But you can just tell the Boston Pride team made sure to take time to give their goaltender some love. That says a lot right there. Solander really had a great game for her team. Levier also did her part. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But that just means, Sam, that we've got some great hockey. 5th season of the NWHL. I'm loving it.
And inside to salute the fans for the Boston Pride. They gather at center ice. 4-0-0 on the season now. The Whitecaps, at least for now, fall to 1-1-1. 3 points for them. And you just have to wonder as a fan now, 4 games, 4 wins, 4 just very solid teamwork efforts. Is there any slowing down for this Boston Pride team right now? Because at least from an outside perspective, doesn't look too likely.
Well, we get the chance to find out at least one more time this weekend as these 2 teams will face off again. But again, this is a Pride team that looks good. Again, they look conditioned. It looks like they know what the charge is. They've been given a directive and they're following it. That's a team. That's a really well put together team. So as other teams start coming together, will that be the equalizer? We'll find out.
And now the official 3 stars, 3rd star going to Boston's McKenna Brand. A goal in the second period in this game. And 2nd star to Mallory Soliotis, a 2-assist game for her. The first one she's had this year. And I don't think anyone's surprised by that one. Lavisa Solander, the Boston goaltender, 1st star honors as a Pride with a 3-1 win in this game. Minnesota Whitecaps, a lot of good lessons you have to take away from this game. Very good pushback, especially in the 3rd period. They were able to kind of get that goal monkey off their back, especially doing one even strength when they had struggled on the power play earlier in the contest. So plenty of lessons and plenty of momentum that they have to take from that last period of this game, put it forward into tomorrow afternoon.
Basically, what that tells me is that they have more in the tank. They didn't quite empty the tank in the first two periods, and they were essentially forced to in the third to just get that one goal from Ali Thunstrom. That has to be pushed throughout the game, Sam, if the Whitecaps want to be competitive, particularly against this Boston Pride team.
Well, a great game, great back and forth action on Twitch TV. We hope you all enjoyed it, and we hope you will join us right back here on the NWHL 2 channel. But for Erica Ayala, I'm Sam Fryman, and we will sign off for now. See you tomorrow afternoon.